Most portable stations try to do everything but drop you in features you never really use. Well, this one tries to keep things simple, offering up an affordable all-in-one solution that keeps all the essentials needed and charges fast when you also require it. It could power your desk, your campsite, your camper van, and all your tools within a sensible 1200 watts. This is the AFERIY P110-E portable power station. Think of it as a compact 1 kilowatt battery with a 1200 watt pure sine inverter, quick wall charging, solar support, and a built-in UPS to stop desktops and routers dropping out. There is even a simple app that allows you to control everything without the need to touch the device at all. It's certainly perfect for those looking for a camper van power bank. It's safe to say it will not suit everyone because 1200 watts is the max. Also, the solar window is stricter than some rivals. But having said all that, for most day-to-day jobs, it covers the essentials without too much hassle. But is it really worth that asking price? Now, at the current asking price, there is a lot of questions to ask of whether it's really worth it, but the best place to start is by starting to unbox it. So unboxing this unit, and you do indeed get everything you could possibly need to get this up and running. In the box you get the unit, an AC charging cable, the basic manual, and an MC4 to XT90 solar lead. So it's great to know that you can charge from a wall or add actual solar panels later on without too much issues in terms of compatibility. I will start by saying this thing feels solid. It really feels like a unit that could withstand some serious wear and tear. I've used a fair few power banks over the years and robustness isn't always something you receive. It is about 13 kilos in weight, so not exactly lightweight by any means, but it does make it feel very sturdy. And the shell does not seem to creak or have any cheap plastic bits. They have done a really good job at keeping this a very robust piece of kit for the asking price. The styling is simple but rather sensible, nothing flashy or over the top. There's side vents that keep the air moving and the case runs cool in just normal use. In terms of ports, you get a 12 volt section which is set up for camping and also things like car gear. A standard car socket gives you 12 volts at up to 10 amps for things like a cooler and inflators. Just here you'll find two 5.5mm barrel ports which provide 12 volts at up to 3 amps for things like routers or even LED strips. So like I said earlier, if you plan on using this in a camper van, it will be a rather decent option. There is also an XT60 at 12 volts up to 25 amps, so roughly 300 watts to play with for a compressor fridge or a radio kit that needs a sturdier feed. In total, you get 12 outputs. That's not too shabby for the asking price. You can charge things like a laptop, run a fridge, and top up phones at the same time without too much cable shuffling. Honestly, as a power bank goes, it seems to cover the basics pretty well. Now, the wall charging input sits on its own socket and takes up to 800 watts for a fairly quick turnaround. On a normal mains outlet, that gets you from empty to full in about 1.6 hours. That's not horrendous by any means, so getting a full charge really doesn't take that long. It is worth noting that adding solar while on AC does not slash the time at all. This is just because the total input caps near the fastest charge limit. Solar feeds the XT90 port up to 400 watts within 11.5 to 50 volts and 20 amps. There is also vehicle charging which is supported at 12 volts up to around 8 amps. It will always favour solar first though, and then just finishes on AC. For solar alone, a 400 watt array is quoted at around 4 hours in ideal sun. And that's while a single 200 watt panel is listed at around 7 to 8 hours. Obviously, real times depend on weather and the angle you have it at, but as a whole, it's really dependable and I've seen those advertised times. Now this unit does have an uninterrupted power option, so when you plug the station into the wall and turn on the main power and the AC output, it sits between the mains and your gear in a standby UPS mode. While the power's on, your devices are fed via a bypass circuit and the battery charges in the background. If the grid drops, it flips to the inverter in roughly 10 milliseconds. So routers, NAS boxes and most desktops should ride through without rebooting. This really could be essential for people who have setups that need to remain on the grid at all times. Now, as a rule of thumb, figure about 850 watt hours usable, allowing for inverter loss. So a 43-inch LED at 70 watts gets roughly 12 hours. A 55-inch at 110 watts gets about 8 hours. Add a streaming stick and a router, and an 85 watts total nets around 10 hours on a full charge. If you plan on about 850 watt hours, you can actually use this. The maths is simple. Your hours equal 850 divided by the total watts. If you put that same TV at 60 watts in eco mode, it will give you about 14 hours of usage. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty impressive. You could plug your phone, portable camera and a drone into the system using the free USB-C ports at 20 watts each at the same time, and you'd still have a separate 100 watt USB-C left over for a laptop or faster kits. At 20 watts, a typical 4500 mAh phone battery at 17 watts goes from low to full in roughly 60 to 90 minutes. A mirrorless camera pack at around 16 watts usually takes around 70 to 120 minutes. For drones, a compact 18 to 20 watt pack is about 60 to 75 minutes, while a larger option at 40 watts is closer to 2 to 2.5 hours to charge. Now, real world times depend on what each device will actually draw, but the unit is designed for multiple device charging, so all three can be charged together without juggling ports, and then still there's plenty for you to use afterwards. Now, I will talk a little bit about the companion app, as it is certainly a clean and simple interface most won't struggle with getting on with at all. You can toggle AC, DC and USB banks, switch power modes, set energy saving options and schedule charging windows, which is handy if you want to prioritize solar in daylight. The app also pushes alerts for low battery, overload and charging status. To be fair, it gives you remote on and off control, basic graphs and status at a glance without touching the unit at all. And for those planning to use this in a standalone setup like a camper van or desk setup, I think this app could be essential. Now, all in all, in my opinion, the P110-E is relatively good value at its current direct price. So who exactly is it for? Well, I can't deny campers or van owners who want a quiet box that will run small appliances, lights and camera gear without any issues will certainly find this very beneficial for the asking price. Essentially, you could probably run your entire van setup off this, thanks to the ability to not only charge via AC, but also solar panel. The weight is 13 kilograms, so it is more boot to pitch than a carry around option. But the handle and footprint makes it practical around a campsite or taking around with you. On value, I think it lands well. If you measure by what it actually powers for a weekend getaway, the pounds per use case is compelling. Thankfully, I also do have a promo code in the description for you to get some more money off the asking price, which will give you even more of a price to value ratio. If you value quiet reliability and straightforward controls, this one certainly earns its spot. As always, be sure to check this product out in the link in the description. Let me know what you think. Till next time.